Hi, this is Mr. Wedge, and today we're going to draw an Australian animal in an Aboriginal style. So the Aboriginal people in Australia have some amazing techniques at making art, and one of those styles is they'll draw an animal, but then they'll draw the inside of the animal too. So you'll see the outside and the inside at the same time. And it's actually a more complete way of drawing something. So you can draw any animal today as long as it's native to Australia. So I picked the Tasmanian Devil. You can only find those in Australia or at the zoo, but they're native to Australia. So that's a Tasmanian Devil, and I'm going to draw this at least as big as it is on this paper. So you draw it big because we have to draw all the inside of it, the animal too. And that part we're going to make up. We can be a little abstract with it. So I've got this reference picture, so I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to be looking at it to help me draw. I'm not tracing it, I'm just helping. It's helping me draw my animal. So I noticed that the body's pretty big, and the head is pretty big too compared to the legs, but the nose is really pointy, so it comes down to a point almost like a triangle. And the body kind of looks like an oval. It's got a pretty long tail, and it's got real short legs and little feet. So I'm going to think about those things when I'm drawing my animal. You might have a snake and might not even have legs. But I'll start with the body. He's got a really round back. I'm just using an oil pastel. I picked orange because it's different than black. It'll show up, but you could use any color that's not black. And it looks, in this picture, it looks like his head's kind of flat. He's got a little ear, and then it comes down. There's his pointy nose. So there's his head right there. It kind of has that shape. And I see some overlapping. It looks like this leg is in front of this one, so I'm right here now. I'm gonna hook around and come down to his feet. So hook around, come down. He's got some little claws, and then the other leg was kind of coming out from behind it. So I'll add that one. And then his little belly, this leg comes up. You can see part of his belly. They've got a big back leg that comes around like that. So kind of swoops around. But you're just going to look at your reference picture and see what your animal looks like, because you might have a completely different animal. But I've just got a basic Tasmanian Devil here. And I did the best I could, and I'm just outlining. All you want to do is outline the body and figure out where the eye would be. That's all we need to do. Outline the body and figure out where the eye would be. So that now I can take a cup, a paint cup. I can put those things away. I've got a paint cup and some white paint, because now we're going to draw and paint the Tasmanian Devil's bones. It's almost like an x-ray. We can see through it. It's like the x-ray style. So I'm going to squirt a little paint. You don't need much. There's just a little bit of paint in there. And that's all I need. So you share the bottle, but you can have your own cup, and then a small brush. And I like round brushes with long bristles. And when I say round, I mean this part is round. But there's brushes that look flat on the end. You could use those too, as long as it's small. First thing I would do, get some paint on your brush. You don't want too much, not too little, not too much. Just get some paint on your brush. And figure out where the skull would be. And I think the skull would be right about here, but don't forget, you're going to leave this hole. That's for the eye. So I'm going to paint where my animal's skull would be, just like that. And you can leave a little spot where the nose or the mouth would be. And I'm going to fill all this in white. So there's the skull of the animal. Probably every animal is going to have a skull. So that's a good place to start with the head. Figure out where that would be. Animals have spines going down their back. Not all animals, but we're going to paint the spine, and the spine would go right down the back, and it actually turns into the tail. And we have spines too, we just don't have tails. So, and you could just make them like a dashed line like this. You could start at the tail if you want, but these represent the vertebrae. But we can just make little dashes. So there we go. There's the spine. Big femur right here. Another little bone. See how the leg changes direction? That's because there's a bone in there. and there's two different bones going in different directions. And then these probably have little bones in them for the toes and the feet. And there's probably another bone back here. There's a big pelvis, it's called, and you can just make a big circle for that, for the pelvis. And these legs would attach to that. You might have like shoulder bones, and then arm bones, little bones for the toes. And then if you want to do ribs, you can too. So there we go, we've got the X-ray, and I just kind of made that up. And it's okay if it's kind of abstract and simplified, because Aboriginal style is often abstract, simplified, basic shapes. So we're not worried about trying to make it look like it would look at the doctor's office or the vet. So anyway, that's all we had to do today. Next time we're going to talk about symbols and dot painting. Work hard, have fun.